Hey guys, my name is Ella. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to go through all of the foundations, concealers, and powders that I keep in my Freelance makeup kit. I've already done a full hair kit and full makeup kit video. It just doesn't go as in depth, and some of you were asking for me to go more in depth and explain a little bit about the types of products that I have, which colors I have and keep in my kit, and why. So that is exactly what I'm doing today. So if you'd like to see what foundations, concealers, and powders I keep in my freelancing makeup kit, then just keep watching. Alrighty, so here are all of my concealers and foundations that I keep in my kit. I've condensed it down quite a lot. Only products that I know will suit any skin type that I get and any skin color. So I've got lots of products that I like to mix together. I hardly ever just use one color on one client. I'm a mixer, so I like to custom make all of my clients' foundation colors. So yeah, this is what I find works for me, and now I'm gonna go through and tell you exactly which products I have and the colors. So I will have them listed down below as well if you want to reference that for starting your own kit. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to start with this guy over here. Okay, so I've just pulled them out of their container and I've grouped them up into type. So I'm going to go through the type first, why I have it in my kit, why it's beneficial, and the colors that I keep. So first things first, I have Face and Body Foundation, and I've just labeled all of my bottles on the top with the foundation name and the number. So Face and Body, and this is N1, and I also keep N9. So those are the only neutral / in MAC terms pinky undertones. These are all MAC foundations, by the way. And then I have Face and Body C3 and C5. So one being a very universal shade. This one is really good for clients who have a tan. And then this one is good for clients who are a bit darker but don't like a pinky undertone. And then obviously the most pale shade is a more pinky undertone, and my darkest shade is a more pinky undertone, because I find that the darker the skin, the more red / pinky undertones are in them. So these are the colors for Face and Body I like to keep in my kit. So Face and Body Foundation is made for people with dry skin. It doesn't have a lot of coverage. It's made to look like skin and very, very dewy and natural. So I like to use this on a lot of my brides. And how I will build up the coverage is with concealer, and a long-lasting concealer. I normally tend to go for the Prolongwear MAC concealer. I have these in my kit. I'll talk about them in a second. But yeah, I pair those two together and it's perfect for brides. Like, next, I have one of their most iconic foundations, I would say, and it's Studio Fix. So I do have more Studio Fix foundations than any of the other ones, only because I find that they're the most universal and can work on any skin type, because although they are oil control, they do have a semi-matte finish, so it's not completely matte. So I find when I put this on people with dry skin, it still looks nice. You just need to use a hydrating base underneath and not set it with as much powder. So yeah, I'm just going to go through the colors now. So starting with the NCs, which are, again, in MAC world, the cool. So cool in MAC terms is yellow undertone. So I have Studio Fix NC10, NC20, and NC55. So a good range. I have the lightest yellow undertone that they carry, the most universal tone. This is the one that we sell out of the most, and it's NC20. And then a darker undertone with yellow. So yeah, these are really good shades. I find that they're the most common with the NCs. And then with the NWs, I got the most popular NW shades because not a lot of people like the pink undertone in Studio Fix foundations because this tends to oxidize really orange. So I just got the ones that I know I was selling to a lot of clients. So that's NW15, NW25, and NW35. Sorry if it's not focusing. My camera's being a bit funny. But yeah, you can see the colors there. Very similar, but once they're on the skin, they all look completely different and oxidize a lot. And yeah, a bit closer. So that's the color palette. The next foundation I have in my kit is Waterweight. Maybe if I zoom it in a little bit. There we go. Should have done that for the other ones. So Waterweight foundation is, just like the name says, it's water-based and weightless on the skin. So it's really nice for people who don't want to feel like they have a lot of makeup on. Maybe someone who's not used to wearing a lot of makeup. But they still want that little bit of coverage. It has more coverage than the Face and Body foundation. So that's when I would reach for this. But I also use these for mixing shades as well with Studio Fix. So the colors I have are NC15, NW25, and NC30. So again, 2 NCs with a more yellowy undertone and one with a pinky undertone. But if I was to get NW25 from Studio Fix and hold them up, they are exactly the same number and undertone, but because of the formula, you can see how different the shades are. So yeah, those are all the liquid foundations I like to keep in my kit. Oh, actually, for mixing, I use these. So these are the NYX Total Control Drop foundations. So I just got these from Priceline. You can see they're pretty liquidy, but once you shake them and drop them out, they have the same consistency as the Cover FX custom cover drops, so they are quite thick actually. And what I got was just the palest shade I could find. So this is in Porcelain. Focus. There we go. And then the darkest shade I could find, which is in Mocha. I'm sorry guys, this is not focusing at all. There we go. So Porcelain and Mocha. I find that these are super helpful in mixing shades. I wanted to get a really dark, cool toned one. One that's a little bit more gray undertoned rather than red, because I feel like I have a lot of pinky, reddy dark shades. So I wanted to have one just in case I needed to make the foundation a bit more cool toned for my darker skinned girls. Now in terms of other foundations I carry, so like palette ones, these are the ones that I keep. So I have 2 of the Matchmaster, oops, there's some glitter on there. I have 2 of the Matchmaster compact foundations from MAC. So Matchmaster foundation is similar to Studio Fix, but it is way, way, way more matte and has way more silica in it, so it's super oil controlling. But the compact version, so they have a pump version and this is the compact version, is a lot more hydrating. So this is good for people with dehydrated, oily skin, which is me. So I love this foundation. It's what I wore every day when I worked at MAC. When they brought it out, it became my like new holy grail. So I just have the lightest shade they offer, which is 1.5, and the second darkest, which is 6. I believe it goes to 7. It could even go to 8. But the reason why this foundation is called Matchmaster is because it's not undertoned. It's just shade levels. So that's why it only says 1, 2, 3 and stuff like that. It doesn't have like NC or NW, because what this does is you match how dark you are, like what level darkness you are, and then it will oxidize and match your skin undertone. So whether you're pink or yellow based. So if you struggle finding a foundation shade to match your undertone, whether they go too pink or they go too orange or they go too yellow on you, Matchmaster is a great one. Next, I have this Ben Nye Media Pro HD palette. I love this palette so much. All the shades, you can see they have heaps of different undertones. They've even got like some color correctors here on the bottom. So it's really helpful for when you find you're just not getting the right shade, or maybe you need something with a bit thicker coverage, because cream foundations are a lot thicker than fluids. So if you have someone with like a stubborn breakout, or their skin is just like, they want the coverage, or you want to like cream contour and highlight, that's when I would use these as well. So yeah, you can see I've dipped into the contour and highlight quite a lot. So yeah, I love these. I don't even have like contour and highlight sticks. I just use this palette. Okay, next I want to go through what concealers I have in my kit. So for fluid concealers, I love the Prolongwear. I'm just holding it so I don't drop them because they are made out of glass. I keep them in the same container that I keep the foundations in, just so they stay upright. So yeah, I'm going to go through what colors I have, and then I'll talk about the benefits of all the of these concealers. So trying not to drop them. Oh my god, that would be a disaster. So, oops, they're not in order. Ugh. Okay, so I have NC20, which again is more yellow undertoned, NC30, and then for the pinky undertones I have NW25 and NW30. I got the most popular shades. These were the ones that we would always sell out of first, and NC20 is the #1 seller of this concealer. So yeah, if you were gonna get these, you only need these 4 shades. I've never had to, like, I've never felt like I've needed another color, even when I'm working on darker skinned girls. For like highlighting under the eyes, I only really use these in the T-zone area and under the eyes. So yeah, these are the only 4 colors that you would ever need in your kit. Now in terms of cream concealers, I have this MAC palette. This is the most popular one, again, in the shade medium. It has 2 lighter shades. One is NC30 and one is NW25. And then the darker shades, which are NC35 and NW35. So yeah, it's the most popular ones. This is in their Studio Finish cream concealer range. So it's basically the most full coverage concealer that MAC offers because it's in cream form. So these are really good for people with blemishes, or again, cream highlighting and... Oh my god! So these are really good for, again, cream highlighting and contouring. And there's also 2 color correctors on the bottom. And then this darker one though has been awesome, and it's really good for contouring as well, if you want to contour with concealer instead of the foundation. So this is in the kit #9. So I believe this is the darkest one that they offer. And it's just nice to have the option, because you never know when you're going to get a darker client as well, and you're going to need these colors. So yeah, definitely would recommend, if you're going to get one, get the #9, because I know the MAC concealers don't offer that dark of a shade. So it's definitely worth it. Okay, next up I got this NYX Conceal and Correct and Contour palette. So these are really awesome colors. I haven't dipped into it too much because I bought it not that long ago. But yeah, you can see I've swatched them just to play around with the colors. I do sanitize everything with alcohol before I decant it and scrape it out. But yeah, you have like literally any color tone you would need to color correct in this palette. And I do like the consistency in here, even though it is drugstore. I think the consistency is great and just as good as high-end, so I would definitely recommend this. Again, I believe it's just called the Color Correcting Concealer palette. So yeah, I got this at Priceline, so I'm sure you can buy this at any drugstore that's local to you. Okay, next I have a Conceal and Correcting Duo from MAC. I think this yellowy undertone is really unique, and this peachy shade is like perfect for people with dark circles who are like a medium skin tone, like an NC30 or more from MAC. So yeah, this is in mid peach and mid yellow. Again, the most popular one being the middle, shade. There's one lighter than this, and then there's one darker than this. But I find that we'd really only sell this one, which is the medium. So mid peach and mid yellow. Yeah, just really good to keep in your kit if you don't want to use creams under someone's eye, and you feel like it would crease too much. That's when I'd go in with this liquid. So this is, yeah, just very concentrated pigment. But majority of the time I use these for color correcting under the eyes. These are the Prep and Prime concealer pens from MAC. They are amazing, very similar to like YSL Touche Claw, like that sort of consistency. It doesn't really have a lot of coverage. Sometimes if someone wants like really super natural skin, like natural, I would use these instead of like the Prolongwear concealer, because the Prolongwear might be a bit too thick. So the colors I have are, I have the concealer ones and then the color correcting. So I've got, let's see, medium and medium plus, which are the concealer ones. So these I use when someone wants more natural looking skin. And then for color correcting, I have Radiant Rose, which is a pink undertone. You can see there. And then I have Light Boost, which is pure yellow. And Bright Forecast is my absolute favorite. I can't do someone's makeup without using this. And I've been struggling to do my own because I ran out of my own one. So I definitely need to buy another one of these. But Bright Forecast is a perfect peachy but still concealery undertone. But if you need a little bit more oomph, if someone's circles are just like way, way, way intense, that's when I would go in with this more concentrated one. Sometimes I even mix the two together and then put some of the yellow on top to brighten under their eyes. Okay, so for setting the foundation and concealer, I use Ben 9 Neutral Set. I've tried so many colorless and translucent powders, and this is the only one that does not leave a flashback. I've even done a full week of wearing a different powder every single day and taking flash photography in natural daylight, inside, and nighttime, and this is the only one that didn't flash back, and it sets the skin so beautifully and really, really smooth. So again, this is Ben 9 Neutral Set Colorless Powder. It does have talc in it, which is weird because normally powders that have talc flash back, but this one just doesn't. It is such a good powder, and I highly recommend it for your kit. It's the only one that I keep, and you can see it comes in a huge bottle. I've been freelancing for ages, and that's all I've used. So yeah, highly, highly recommend. Okay, next for setting under the eyes and color correcting under the eyes with powder. So if the concealer is not enough and you just need a little bit more oomph, these are the ones that I use. So they're e.l.f. setting powders. So these are the normal containers. I decanted them into this just to make it a bit easier. So the yellow one is just called Corrective Yellow. This is really good, again, for brightening someone who has really dull skin or maybe even uneven like discoloration and you need to brighten them up. Their skin could be quite dull. I would use that. This one I use so much and like so highly recommend. It performs better than most high-end loose powders, and under the eyes it makes it look so flawless, and because it's that little bit peachy of an undertone, it's like the perfect powder for setting under your eyes. I don't use the Ben 9 neutral set under the eyes. I use this all over, like on the T-zone and nose area. If someone is really oily, that's when I would go in with a big fluffy brush and press this into the skin. I don't actually have colored like face powder for my kit. That's what I just use the translucent. But yeah, this one, which is the e.l.f. Soft Luminance. Oh my god, you guys. It's crazy how good this is. Let me open this up. So it comes with like a puff, okay? So that's the color, and I don't know, it doesn't look nice here, but it's got like a tiny bit of shimmer in it. It doesn't look like glitter when it's on the skin, but it's so smooth. It smooths out the skin so beautifully. It feels like butter. And because of that tiny little specks of glitter, it really brightens under the eyes, but you can't actually see the shimmer when it's on the skin. So yeah, highly recommend these. Really like beneficial to have in your kit. And again, I've just decanted it into this little thing, and I got this from like the $2 shop. So yeah, love it. Okay, so this is my MAC palette that I made, my cheek one. So it's double-sided. This is what it looks like inside. So I've got a couple highlight, contour, and blushes all mixed into one. So I'll just go through and tell you like what color is what. Let's see. So this one is just a mini Hoola bronzer. It doesn't have the name on it. That I took out of one of those box kits that they sell and put it in there. I would love to have a full-size Hoola bronzer, so I'm buying that next for sure. This one I use for brightening under the eyes. It's called Emphasize. You can even use it as a cheek highlight for someone who doesn't want shimmer on their cheeks. And then for contouring, this is Bone Beige, I believe. Yeah, Bone Beige. So you can buy these from MAC Pro only. They don't... Oh my god, I just dropped a highlighter. Oh! They don't sell them in normal MAC stores. Sorry if that's glaring you. And then this one over here, I use it as contour sometimes and as blush. It's called Harmony. It's a really nice contour color though, even though it is a blush. But you can see it's just a tiny bit more pinky than Bone Beige. Just a tiny bit, but they're very, very similar. And then this one is one of my favorites. It's called Crisp Whites. A very nice neutral peach undertone, but no shimmer, so it's a matte blush. And then on this side I have a mixture of shimmer and matte and various undertones. I've never reached for these two, but I just want to have them just in case. So I believe this one is called Devil and this one is Pepper or something. Let me see. So I have Gingerly here, which is our most popular blush that we sell at MAC. It's super universal on heaps of different skin tones, but if they don't like a brownie blush look, then I would go in with like Margin or what's this one? Peachy Keen. So yeah, these three are like our most popular sellers for blush at MAC. So yeah, I just get the Pro pans and then I pop them in here. They sell these pans that don't come in the plastic packaging at all freestanding and Pro MAC stores, so not the ones that are in department stores. I also have the color What I Fancy. This one was limited edition that I've popped and decanted myself. Oh yeah, and this darker one is called Burnt Pepper. Yeah, pepper, I was close. And I know this one is Devil. I believe this one was limited edition, but when I went to the staff shop it was like $2 because it wasn't selling, so I had to buy it. I'm sure I'll have a use for it one day. Ah, you can see how orange it is. But yeah, blend it out on the skin as a blush. It's really cool. Really cool. Even as an eyeshadow, that would be sick. Now in terms of cream blush and contours, this is my cream kit from MAC that I made by myself. So it's really dirty because I just used it. But yeah, basically they just pop out like that. And I will tell you what shades they are. So I like to keep Tint, which is a little shimmery and like a light peachy undertone. And then the next one is Bamboo. So yeah, Bamboo is just a sort of like a mauvey pinky undertone, but a bit lighter. And then I keep Vintage Rose, which is a true rose color, like for sure. It's very mauvey, a lot more deeper, really beautiful on mature skin. Why won't this focus? Okay, and then for contouring, I have Midtone Sepia. This one's super, super nice. So yeah, I use these almost every time I do someone's makeup because you get so much more color payoff when you have a cream underneath a powder. So yeah, what I normally do is I get a tissue, get heaps of alcohol, and wipe all over on top of it, and then dip my brush in. And I like to work with my fingers as well. It's the best way to work with this palette. Just make sure everything is sanitized. So yeah, that's why you don't see any scrapes out of it. I don't like to scrape out of this palette. They work better with heat, so I use my hands a lot and brushes. Now, I also keep Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I haven't been able to find this in in Australia. So I bought it over in America when I went back home to visit my family. This smells like you're on vacation. It's so good. It's like suntan lotion mixed with coconuts, mixed with pina colada and the ocean. I don't know. It's like they nailed this scent so much, and every time I use it on a client they're like, oh my god, what is that? But yeah, they don't sell it here and I'm super bummed. They have the butter blush in Priceline, but I haven't found the bronzer yet. But it is seriously the best undertone ever. It's super neutral and it does not pull any orange, so it's literally the only powder bronzer that I keep in my kit. Highlights. So I'm gonna go through my palettes. So I've got the Aurora palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I just wanted to have a fun option, and if I'm doing like a creative eye look, some of these are nice to add as highlights with the eye look. So yeah, I've dipped into the purple and the pink one. I haven't really tried out the other colors yet. I'm dying to use this green one. Like, dying. But yeah, I think it's just super important to have universal things in your kit. Don't make everything products that you would reach for every day, because you never know what a client is going to ask for. So that's my biggest advice with like what colors you should choose and things you could pick. That's why in my blush palette I don't have all the same colors. Every single shade is different, because you never know what colors you're going to need or what you might want to mix to make a custom shade. So yeah, definitely would recommend. It's super fun to have. And again, I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in the Nicole Guerrero one. I had to get her Glow Kit. These ones are a bit more glittery, so they have quite a lot of shimmer and they do look glittery on the cheeks. I just always ask my clients beforehand, do you like a glittery highlight or do you want something that's just a glow? If they don't mind a bit of shimmer and want to look glow to the gods, I would use this palette. Again, it's super universal from like lightest to darkest and every undertone in between. So it is an awesome palette to have in your kit. Although with the glitter, not everyone's going to want it. So that's why you would want this one as well. So this is the Sun Dipped Glow Kit. One of their most popular ones for sure, because it's a lot of golds and pinky undertones. This one makes you glow AF, but doesn't have the glitter in it. So side by side, you can see, whoops, if I can hold it, you can see how glittery the top one is compared to these. And I'll swatch it for you guys. Okay, so this is Nicole Guerrero, and this is Anastasia. So you can see it's a bit chunkier, bit more glitter, and this one's just a lot smoother. So yeah, definitely recommend those. If you want something that's like crazy, get the Inglot powder highlighters. These are insane. I have the colors 06, 07, 01, and 03. These are really intense glitter highlights. They even look amazing on the eyes as pigments. You can see how pigmented they are, but yeah, they are highlights for the face and body, so really universal. You can put them anywhere. And then this one on the bottom is a Laura Mercier loose highlight. I just haven't labeled that one yet. But this is what it looks like in the normal packaging. I've just decanted it, and it's in the color Candlelight. This is so beautiful on brides. I used it on my wedding day, and every bride that I have, this is the color that I use. I just want to show you what it looks like. It's really subtle, but is the perfect champagne-y tone, and it makes you have that glowing from within look, and it complements any skin tone, even dark skin tones. So yes, that one I would highly recommend as well. And again, I just decanted all of them into one of these from the dollar shop. This is what the Inglot powders look like, full-sized. So they're called the Sparkling Dust, Face, Eyes, and Body. Yeah, so that is it for my face kit. Thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you guys subscribed, and let me know if there's anything else you would like to see from my channel. I do have a few more videos coming up in this little like series, so yeah, stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!